The medieval castle kitchen wasn't just about feasts and banquets. It was a battlefield of poison, power, and politics. From mysterious mushrooms to tainted wine, discover how castle kitchens became deadly weapons in the hands of skilled assassins. Let's talk about one of the most dangerous jobs in medieval times, the royal food taster. These brave souls weren't just casual snackers, they were the last line of defense between a monarch and a painful death. Food tasters had to sample every dish and drink before it reached the royal table, often waiting up to several hours to see if any poison would take effect. Many food tasters developed clever techniques, like touching food to their lips to detect numbness or pressing silver spoons against dishes to spot certain poisons that would tarnish the metal. But here's the twist. Being too good at your job could get you killed. If a taster detected poison, they might face torture to reveal the plot's source, and if they missed it, well, let's just say job openings were frequent in this particular career path. Medieval castle kitchens had access to countless dangerous ingredients that looked just like their harmless twins. Take the death cap mushroom. It looked so similar to regular mushrooms that even experienced cooks could mix them up. Just a small piece could kill someone within days. Nightshade berries were another sneaky killer. They looked like tasty wild grapes but packed enough poison to stop a heart. The scariest part? Many of these plants grew right in castle gardens, mixed in with regular herbs and vegetables. Clever poisoners would often mix these deadly ingredients into strong-flavored dishes like spicy stews or sweet pies to hide their bitter taste. They'd also use colorful flowers like wolfsbane or lily of the valley, which looked beautiful but could kill within hours. Let's explore one of history's most famous food mysteries, the death of King John of England in 1216. The story goes that he got sick after eating a big meal of peaches and beer at a monastery. Some people think disgruntled monks poisoned his food, while others say he just ate too many bad peaches. The king got very sick with a fever and stomach pains, and died a few days later at Newark Castle. What makes this case so interesting is that peaches were actually pretty rare and expensive in medieval England. They were seen as a luxury food. This makes some historians wonder if the peaches were deliberately poisoned, knowing the king couldn't resist such a treat. But there's another theory. The peaches might have just been spoiled, causing food poisoning. We may never know the real truth, but King John's death shows how even powerful rulers could fall victim to what was on their plate. Castle cooks held incredible power in medieval courts, and not just because they controlled what everyone ate. These kitchen masters knew every noble's food preferences, allergies, and eating habits, information that was worth its weight in gold. Many head cooks became trusted advisors to kings and queens, since they literally held their lives in their hands 3 times a day. Some clever cooks used this trust to climb the social ladder, trading secrets and favors. They could make a rival noble look bad by serving them food they hated, or win allies by preparing special dishes. The most successful castle cooks even became wealthy landowners and political players themselves. Take Conrad von Burgos, a 14th century German cook who started as a kitchen boy and ended up as a trusted royal advisor, proving that in medieval times, the quickest path to power might just run through the kitchen. Not all deaths in medieval castle kitchens were planned. Some cooking methods were dangerous on their own. Cooking with lead pots was common, slowly poisoning people over months or years. Many nobles got sick from lead-glazed plates and cups, which made their food taste sweeter but caused serious health problems. Open fire cooking in castle kitchens led to terrible accidents too. Long, flowing clothes could catch fire, and poorly ventilated cooking areas filled with smoke could suffocate kitchen staff. Even simple mistakes could turn deadly, like storing food in copper pots, which created toxic compounds, or using certain pots for both medicines and food, leading to accidental poisoning. The most dangerous job was testing new recipes for nobles who wanted exotic dishes. Many cooks died trying out unfamiliar ingredients or cooking methods. In medieval castle kitchens, spices weren't just for flavor. They were part of a secret code used to hide deadly recipes. Kitchen staff developed their own special language using common spice names to mask poisonous ingredients. Saffron might actually mean wolfsbane, while winter pepper could be code for deadly nightshade. They'd write these coded recipes in what looked like normal cookbooks, making them nearly impossible for outsiders to spot. Some kitchen workers even created fake recipes where changing the cooking order or amount of an ingredient would turn a harmless dish deadly. This clever system let poisoners share their methods while keeping their secrets safe. Most interesting was how they used different names for the same spice to signal the poison's strength. Red sage for a fatal dose. Morning sage for something meant to cause illness but not death. The way medieval castles stored food could sometimes be as deadly as any assassin's poison. One of the biggest killers was ergot, a nasty fungus that grew on rye and other grains when they weren't stored properly. When people ate bread made from infected grain, they'd experience terrifying symptoms, from painful seizures to hallucinations. In 1994, about 40,000 people in France died from what we now know was ergot poisoning. The scariest part? Nobody understood what was causing it. People blamed everything from evil spirits to divine punishment. Some castle granaries became death traps because the damp, dark conditions were perfect for ergot growth. Even scarier, certain nobles figured out they could use ergot-infected grain as a weapon, deliberately serving it to enemies at feasts. The royal cupbearer's job went way beyond just serving drinks. They were basically playing a deadly game every single day. These brave servants had to taste every beverage before the king or queen took a sip, but they also needed serious skills in chemistry and observation. They learned to spot unusual colors, detect strange smells, and notice if drinks changed temperature oddly. Cupbearers would use special silver and gold cups that changed color when touching certain poisons. Some even kept small birds nearby. If a bird stopped singing or fell quiet, it could mean poison in the air. But the really clever cupbearers developed a whole system of signals to warn their rulers of danger without alerting potential assassins. A slightly tilted cup, a specific way of pouring, or even how they positioned their fingers could send secret warnings. Some of history's most dramatic assassinations happened right in castle kitchens. Take the case of King Edwig of England in 959. His enemies allegedly used a slow-acting poison in his favorite honey mead, which made his death look like a normal illness. Then there's the fascinating story of Agnes Sorel, the French king's mistress, who died after eating poisoned meatballs, though some say it was actually mercury from her beauty treatments. One of the most clever plots involved an Italian noble who was killed by poisoned figs that were injected with toxins using a special needle. The poisoner only treated figs on one side of the plate, so when they ate from the same dish, only the target got sick. These cases show how kitchen assassins mixed creativity with cruelty. Modern science has given us new insights into famous medieval deaths that were once mysterious. When researchers tested hair samples from long-dead royals, they found surprising answers. For example, recent tests on King Erik XIII of Sweden's remains showed he wasn't just paranoid. His body contained deadly levels of arsenic, likely mixed into his pea soup. Scientists examining King Charles II of England's remains found mercury levels high enough to cause the symptoms described in historical records. Even more interesting, when experts studied the preserved heart of Richard the Lionheart, they found traces of exotic plant toxins that weren't common in medieval Europe, suggesting a carefully planned assassination rather than natural causes. Thanks for exploring these fascinating tales of medieval kitchen intrigue with us. History shows that power and danger often came served on a silver platter. If you enjoyed this video, hit like, subscribe, and share it with your history-loving friends.